begin with the body, start with 6 single crochet in the magic ring. I still use my gray yarn for the body of the bear, but if you like, you can change the color to whatever you like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull the tail. Do a slip stitch into the first stitch I made, which is this one. So I have 6 crochet in a magic ring on magic circle. For the next row, I'm gonna do an increase in each of the stitches. An increase means 2 single crochet in 1 single crochet. Now I'm gonna add my marker. I'm gonna use the yellow yarn this time. For the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 increase in the second stitch. So 1 single crochet in the first stitch, an increase in the second stitch. And at the end of the row, you should have 18 stitches. For the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches, 1 increase in the third stitch. For the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches and 1 increase in the fourth stitch. So 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches and an increase in the fourth stitch. Repeat the process until the end of the row. So for the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around for 3 rows. So I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches, and I'll be right back. So I have finished doing 1 single crochet around for 3 rows. To the next row. For the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches and then a decrease in the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. A decrease means that it's such a first stitch. Do not yarn over and put the yarn through, insert your hook into the next stitch, and then pull over, yarn over and pull the yarn all the stitches. So that's you have the decrease, and repeat the process until you reach the marker. For the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around. For the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches and then a decrease in the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, a decrease. For the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around. For the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches and then a decrease in the next 2 stitches. After that, you should have 15 stitches. So 1, 2, decrease. Repeat the process until the end of the row. For the next row, I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches and then a decrease in the next 2 stitches. And you should have 12 stitches after that. So 1, 2, 3, a decrease. Finish off by chaining 1 and then cut. Stop this body. Now start sewing the body onto the head. It should look something like this. And I will be right back after I have sewn the body. So I have finished attaching the body and it looks something like this. So now we're gonna move on to crochet the legs and arms. For the legs, start with 6 single crochet in the magic ring. For the next row, do 1 increase in each of the stitches. So you should have 12 stitches after that. For the next row, do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 increase in the second stitch. So you should have 18 stitches. So 1 single crochet in the first stitch and increase in the second stitch. For the next row, do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around for 2 rows, and after that you still have 18 stitches. For the next row, do 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches and then do a decrease for the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, a decrease. Repeat the same process until you reach your marker. For the next row, do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches. So 1 single crochet. For the next row, do 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches and then a decrease in the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, a decrease. For the next row, do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches and then a decrease in the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, a decrease. Repeat the same process until you reach your marker. Start stuffing the leg at this point. So I have put in a little bit of stuffing, and now for the next row I'm gonna do one single crochet in each of the stitches around. So one single crochet in each of the stitches, chain one to finish off, and then cut yarn. So repeat the same process to make the other leg, and then sew the two legs onto the door, something like this, and I'll be right back. So as you can see, I have sewn on the legs and it looks something like this. So now we will move on crocheting the arms and the ears. So first for the arm, do 7 single crochet in the magic ring. So for the next rows, we're gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around for 10 rows. So I will just do it fast. So I have finished my arm and also stuff it. You need to make another one and sew them onto the body. So now we're going to crochet the ears of the bear. Start with 5 single crochet in the magic ring, and for the second row we are going to do an increase in each of the stitches, and after that you should have 10 stitches for this second row. So for the next row I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around, and I still have 10 stitches for this row. So for the next row I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 increase in the second stitch, and after that you should have 15 stitches for this row. So for the next row I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around, and after that you should have 15 stitches. For the last row I'm gonna do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and a decrease in the next 2 stitches, and repeat the same process until the end of the row, and after that you should have 10 stitches for this row. Finish off by chaining 1, then cut your yarn, make another one, sew them onto the head. Next we will move on to the tail, so start with 5 single crochet in the magic ring, and then for the next row we will do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around, and you will still have 5 stitches. Finish off by chaining 1, and you cut it and sew the tail onto the bear. Okay, so I have sewn on the ears, arms, and also the tail here. So now I am going to do the nose, and I cut out a piece of white felt and embroider the nose with black thread, and it should look something like this when I put it on, something like this. And I'm going to use the glue gun to glue this piece onto the bear itself. Alright, so I have finished gluing the nose onto the head and it looks something like this. And the rest is totally up to you. It is adding decoration. And I did tie on a piece of ribbon around its neck like this. And there you have it, your own bear amigurumi. And yeah, I really hope you guys find my tutorial helpful. I really did spend a lot of time and effort into making this tutorial, and yeah, since this is my first tutorial ever, so I really need positive feedback. Constructive comments are highly welcome, and if you have any requests, please feel free to comment down below. And if you still have questions, please ask me, and I will make sure I answer them as soon as possible. And yeah, man, this tutorial took a lot more time than I had expected, but it was fun to make. If you like my tutorial, please give it a thumb up and please subscribe to encourage me to make more. Yeah, I will try to make more tutorial in the future, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.